Breaking news. At exactly 3:42 a.m. UTC, something happened near the sun that should not exist in any scientific textbook. Multiple space agencies, using some of the most advanced instruments ever built by humanity, were tracking the interstellar object known as 3I Atlas. And then, without warning, it vanished. Not faded, not hidden by solar glare. It disappeared completely, as if reality itself blinked. For 11 seconds, every sensor went silent. No reflection, no heat signature, no gravitational trace. Today, the impossible happened, and what followed has left scientists unsettled, governments quiet, and questions multiplying faster than answers. If you want real cosmic mysteries, the kind no one dares to explain openly, subscribe now. Because this story is not over, it may just be beginning. Within minutes, internal alerts spread across NASA, ESA, and affiliated observatories. This was not a routine loss of signal. Systems designed to observe through solar interference were suddenly blind. At NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, engineers reran diagnostics again and again. At the European Space Operations Center, simulation models collapsed under contradictory results. In Chile, radio astronomers at the Atacama Array stared at flat data, lines where something should have been screaming across the charts. This wasn't equipment failure. It wasn't human error. Whatever happened to 3I Atlas happened everywhere at once. To understand why this moment is so disturbing, we must go back in time. 48 hours earlier, 3I Atlas was already worrying scientists. This was no ordinary comet. It was only the third confirmed interstellar object ever detected passing through our solar system, moving at more than 42 kilometers per second, far too fast to be gravitationally bound to the sun. Its path was hyperbolic, precise and clean, as if plotted long before our planet ever existed. But the real concern wasn't its speed, it was its behavior. Unlike comets, 3I Atlas had no visible tail. Unlike asteroids, it was accelerating. Instruments detected a steady increase in velocity without any corresponding mass loss. No outgassing, no debris, no explanation. Scientists tried to attribute the acceleration to solar radiation pressure, but the math failed. The force required was too controlled, too efficient. Something was pushing it, and not randomly. 11 hours later, another anomaly appeared. Spectral analysis showed the object's surface changing color, not from heating, not from chemical reaction, but in a way that suggested internal restructuring. Its reflectivity dropped sharply, as if it were absorbing light rather than reflecting it. Some researchers quietly noted that the spectral curve resembled materials engineered in laboratories, not found in nature. This detail never made it into public briefings. Then came the rotation change. Objects in space don't simply slow their spin without an external force. Yet 3I Atlas did exactly that. Its rotation rate decreased in steps, as if adjusted deliberately. Angular momentum was being redistributed internally, violating expectations so deeply that one internal report described the behavior as non-natural. That report was classified hours later, 19 hours before the disappearance. Radio telescopes in Australia detected something even more unsettling. A narrowband radio signal, faint but unmistakable, appeared to originate from 3I Atlas. The frequency was centered at 1.42 gigahertz, the hydrogen line. Not noise, not static, pulses, short repeating pulses. When analysts mapped the intervals, the pattern froze the room. Prime numbers, a universal mathematical sequence, a signal that did not belong to stars, planets, or random cosmic chaos. Minutes after confirmation, by observatories in New Mexico and Europe, the signal stopped. Public acknowledgement never came. As 3I Atlas approached the sun, agencies prepared for temporary observational loss due to solar glare. But this time, every precaution was taken. The James Webb Space Telescope was aligned for infrared tracking. Hubble monitored ultraviolet emissions. Solar probes measured magnetic fields. At 3:41:52 UTC, everything was normal. At 3:42:03, every instrument lost it simultaneously. For 11 seconds, Three-Eye Atlas did not exist in our observable universe. It did not emerge where physics demanded it should. Instead, something else happened. A sudden magnetic disturbance rippled across the sun's corona, detected by the Parker Solar Probe, perfectly symmetrical, perfectly timed, centered exactly where Three-Eye Atlas should have reappeared. It was brief, controlled, almost careful, as if something interacted with the sun and moved on. Emergency meetings followed, not press conferences, closed-door meetings. Models were run non-stop. One question dominated them all. Could any natural process explain a complete disappearance across every wavelength? The answer was unanimous: no. Even fragmentation would leave heat, debris, or gravitational noise. There was nothing. Two explanations emerged. The official one suggested extreme fragmentation into undetectable particles. But this failed to explain the prior behavior, the deceleration, the signals, the symmetry. The second explanation was never meant for the public. It suggested that Three-Eye Atlas might be an active system, not alive, not biological, but technological, capable of altering its physical state, capable of hiding. Then Earth began to notice subtle effects. Satellites experienced brief communication glitches. GPS timing errors appeared across multiple regions. Radio operators reported unexplained interference. Even migratory bird tracking data showed anomalies in magnetic navigation. No single event caused alarm. Together, they painted a disturbing picture. Whatever happened near the sun echoed across space. 36 hours later, something new appeared. A faint object near Mercury's orbit. Cold, dark, moving in sharp, calculated bursts. Its trajectory no longer matched Three-Eye Atlas's original path. It was smaller but purposeful, and its alignment was unmistakable, inward toward Earth. Analysts stopped calling it a fragment. They called it a remnant, or something else entirely. Data access tightened. Agencies went silent. Observations were delayed or redacted. Behind the scenes, discussions shifted from astrophysics to defense. Because if Three-Eye Atlas was engineered, then it wasn't bound by our assumptions. It could wait. It could observe. It could choose when to be seen. And now we are here, in the quiet after the shock, waiting, watching empty data streams, wondering whether this was a flyby, a probe, or a test. Humanity has always searched the universe for signs of intelligence. We imagined dramatic arrivals, blazing lights, undeniable proof. Instead, what if intelligence arrives silently, hides behind the sun, and leaves us questioning our own certainty? Maybe this is not an ending. Maybe it's an introduction. And the most terrifying thought of all remains unanswered. When Three-Eye Atlas vanished, did it leave or did it stay? Subscribe to Mystic USA, because the universe is not as empty as we once believed.